Terraria already has a decent amount of mounts, but what if there were more? Like ones that you could use in actual fights and other ones that you could use for getting around the map in weird ways. That's exactly what this mod adds in, so let's hop in game and check it out. We are here checking out a mount mod that I did check out like a year or two ago, but I'm pretty sure has added in some more stuff since last time. And this is the go-to Terraria mount mod that I add to every mod pack. It doesn't matter what the mod pack is. This mod has to be in it. But we know the vanilla game does have a decent bit of mounts like this. Some that I touch less than others, like Lilith's necklace. This one's sick. But today it's time we look at the mount and journey mod. Let's get to it. Oh yes, look at this, a bunch of beautiful mounts. Let's start with the little lesser slash weaker ones, and then let's work our way up. So the first mount out of them is the Finch Feeder. Attracts a flock of finch to lift you through the air, a flock of them, which is pretty rare given that I never get my hands on a finch staff. So the fact that we got a flock of them is insane. Bring them in though. This one, very simple. Think of it more of like the glider from like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, whatever. As you can see, a little bit more tame. The flight time isn't that long, but it is more for gliding. I don't know how useful this would be early game in Terraria unless you got like a mountainous world like this, but this is more of like just a fun thing, I guess. After that, we got a beautiful sand theme one, and that is this boy right here, which is from the Sandy Aviators. I like the idea of having an antlion swarmer as a mount. It kind of just makes sense. I feel like this should be in the game already. It's a little early game flying mount, a little bit earlier than the B one, so it might be a little bit worse, but it's still pretty solid just to have that mobility and flight early game. After that though, speak about mobility, we got mobility in water with the shell horn, which brings us a seahorse in a bubble. Now obviously super slow above water, but as soon as we enter the water, this baby's not bad. It's not like supersonic speeds like the shrimp truffle, but for early game, it's gonna get it done. You need to head to the bottom of the ocean really quick. Hold on, it's a little dark, but you need to head down here, grab this chest, and then leave. Shoot, perfect mount for it. This next one is actually insanely interesting. It's the overgrown seed pouch. Plants a stationary flower for you to move freely in a certain area. Boom. We get us a little flower stem, and as you can see, we kind of can extend the stem wherever we want in a certain area. Now this is low-key is very interesting, and I want to see it against a boss really quick. Let's bring in, you know, King Slime, and let's just kind of move back and forth. Can King Slime really mess with us with a mount like this? I have no idea, because like I don't know if I can see how useful this type of mount is. It's not terrible though. As you can see, like I'm staying away from the King Slime. You can't get near me. This could also be very useful for like building and stuff, as you can go up and down very easily. So it's definitely more of a utility mount than it is a like fighting a boss mount. Now we are in the underworld, and this next one's pretty cool. It's a meteor board. The board will hover a short distance above the ground. You can sort of just hover over lava and stuff like that. Look at this. Get a nice little hovering distance. Just jumped over that hellbat. It's kind of sick. It doesn't really like go upwards, I don't think. Yeah, like look at this. I can't like jump or anything. Like I'm pressing up, I'm pressing space, nothing's happening. But if you're in a situation like this, like it's pretty useful. Look at this. Let's bring it to the surface though real quick, because I do want to see it on the surface, like what's going on. So it always looks like it hovers a certain amount of blocks over however many blocks you are. So it's like a good like 3 block gap depending how high up you are. So pretty cool, pretty unique. Now the next set of mounts are all hard mode, post moon lord, whatever. Starting with this one, come on, this one I feel like 100% needs to be in the game. It just makes so much sense that it would be in the game. That's the ivory flute, which spawns in our own wyvern. I feel like wyverns are definitely a like top 5 / top 10 iconic Terraria enemy. So much history, there's so much lore and just other things when it comes to like YouTubers and stuff. Like come on bro, this gotta be in the game, and look how fun it is to ride this thing around. It's actually sick. But after that, we got its scaly brethren, or uglier brethren, I don't know, and that is this one, the Arc Wyvern. Another thing that should just be in the game, not the mount itself, but just the Arc Wyvern in general. I feel like this one and the what is it, the Lunar New Year's dragon should just all be in the game. After that, we get a little bit nastier here, so nasty that I'm gonna have to descend into the caves to check this one out. It is the giant spider egg. I feel like you guys know where we're going with this. Ugh. People that are scared of spiders, look away now if you haven't already, but this thing kind of sick. It is kind of sick the way it can just crawl up stuff so easily. Pretty awesome. It can also jump. Like look at that. I get a nice little leap. This might be one of the most unique Terraria mounts I've ever seen. The idea of this is just so cool, and on top of it just being a cool idea, it actually works like really well. Look how good I'm navigating caves. Like, it's insane. Let's see it on the surface though. How do we navigate the surface? He does look kind of funny when he like puts all his legs up. But like, look at this, man. This is awesome. After that, we have Jewel Salmon. Attracts a rideable otter dragon. An otter dragon. Very interesting. Yo, this thing is sick looking. I didn't even know otter dragons exist. This thing can walk on water. All right, that's already sick. It is an otter. Otters are pretty good in water. But what about like actually in the water? Yo, it actually like swims. It actually swims. So it can walk on water. It actually has good swimming animations and speed. That's sick. The dragon part, I don't really know about that though. There's no like wings or nothing, but it's already cool enough. Otters like legit might be a top 5 animal. Moving on after that though, we have 3 back-to-back that are the same, just different colors, I believe. We got the white raptor mount. Oh my god, look at that. He has a turning animation. What the heck? Did anything else have a turning animation? No. That's pretty cool. But yeah, we got a white raptor, the raptor that has feathers, whatever one you guys prefer. I think I prefer the ones with feathers. When the raptors are more bird-like. Speak about bird-like, we can fly. Look at that. And then we go into a gliding mode after that. Pretty sick. And then after that, we got the ancient blue ones, my boy Mordecai. So this one also pretty much does the same thing. I'm pretty sure they're all the same. And then we got a red one. Moving on though, we get to one of the cooler ones. A lot of these are the cooler ones if I'm being honest with you. But that is the Mountain Jewel, which attracts a mountain dragon. A powerful flap of the wings can propel you left, right, or up. Boom. Look at this cool little gray dragon. Hold on, let's put some dye on him. I prefer my dragons like a red or blue. I don't know, I just feel like that's a cooler color. What does he look like? Okay, I don't know about that. Doesn't look that cool. All right, let's see. So he can fly, obviously. He's got wings. And he is an actual dragon. He's not like a wyvern. He actually has the 4 legs and wings. And look at this. This is pretty good flight time. This is solid. Now, my question is, what's up with the wing flap thing? Like, how does that work? I just figured it out. Look at this. He could dash. That's what they meant. He could dash. A mount that can dash, that's low-key revolutionary, because dashing in Terraria is such a good mechanic to have, just like a great ability to have. So being able to do that in 3 different directions is pretty crazy. But after that, we have the griffin. You can't go wrong with a mythical creature like a griffin. Look at this. My boy can fly. Hold up. Let's head to the bottom. The lowest we could go right now. Let's see how fast my boy can fly. Look at that. Oh my god. Beautiful speed. And he's still going. Finally, we ran out, but we already reached the top. A good couple 100 blocks we could fly. And then obviously he could glide. Next up, we get into one of the more unique ones. Royal Bulb. Attracts the royal rose. Anything caught in the vines will get poisoned by thorns. Let's bring this to the jungle because it's a nice little area for this one. And it's sort of like a Plantera mount. Look at this. We get our own Plantera. Hold up. Catch his ass in the poison. Okay, I guess we can't catch him. Let's bring in the queen bee and let's fight her with just our vines. So this is another one that does damage, which I really like when mounts can do damage. Kind of gives them a little bit more utility instead of them just being for getting around. You know, you can actually use them in fights like this. But pretty sick. I don't think it does anything else. We could go up, we could go down. The usual is pretty good at traversing the area too. And we really could just stay off the ground. So something like this could be great for just any event where there's a bunch of enemies on the floor. We are in the jungle temple because guess what? The next one is jungle temple theme. Lizard Flute attracts a giant flying snake. Oh my god. Look at my boy. He is sick. He's kind of like another wyvern mount, but he might be a little bit better. Let's head somewhere else where we can actually fly him. Let's head somewhere else. Obviously, he's a little bit slow on the floor. A little bit goofy when you get him like bunched up like this. But once you take to the skies, that's when my boy becomes his best. Look at this. Kind of doing like a little like hovering, a little diving and then ascending back up. Kind of reminds me of like the Elytra from Minecraft. But this one visually might be another one of the coolest. Like look at the wings. The wings when they flap actually have like a really good looking animation. We are at the last one, sort of the best of the best here. That being these last 5, which are solar themed. Starting with this one, Solar Ash summons the legendary bird of rebirth, aka the Phoenix. And we can dash, and on top of dashing, hitting something chains the dash. Okay. Boom. Look at the Phoenix. He's chilling on the floor right now and take flight. Amazing. So we can dash, and then if we dash into something, I think after we hit it, we right click and we can dash into something again. It says click in a direction right after hitting something. There we go. So you gotta hit them and then you gotta click right away. So say if there's multiple enemies to hit, you can dash into them, dash away. It's pretty cool. Another mount that has a nice little dash. Dashing in Terraria is very, very... I would say underrated, but very, very important. I wonder how many dashes you could chain together. It's kind of hard to do it against this dude. Next up, this is one of my favorites. Vortex Beacon calls in a Vortexian gunship, and it comes with a pair of cannons. Oh yeah, I got my own gunship and I got my own bullets in here. Now the question is, can I put whatever bullets I want? If I put like exploding bullets, does that work? Oh yes. Okay, what about chlorophyte? Chlorophyte also works too. So pretty much this is the perfect ranger weapon, because not only do you get to, you know, shoot a little bit with your regular guns, you can switch to a gunship and take on a boss like this. This is sick. After that though, we got the Cosmic Sigil, which summons a Cosmic Watcher. When mounted, you repel projectiles as long as you're looking at them. Sounds kind of strong and it looks really cool. As you can see, there's a little like barrier that we have, and if that barrier is on top of the projectiles, it will propel them away. Look at that, making any boss sort of kind of easy if they have a bunch of projectiles. So say I'm just fighting Plantera normally, I could knock her projectiles away and also fight her, which is like insane to think about. And last but not least, from the Stardust stuff, we got the Shining Sextant. Calls down a distant star along with a children from the sky. Double tap in any direction or mount it to teleport. Yes sir, we bring in a little hummingbird, and it's got its own little stars and summons that it does. Hold up, look at that. The little bird itself can actually hit stuff, and I believe the stars also can hit stuff. And then we can dash, which teleports us, and I think we can do it any direction. So it's a little bit slower of a mount, but its slowness is made up for by not only having the extra little summon damage, but we can literally teleport through things. Look at that, I just teleport through a bunch of blocks. Last but not least, when it comes to main mounts, one of my favorite, the star of last video's thumbnail, and that is the Weather Orb. It says bumping the orb against enemies will generate charge, which Mythical Red will absorb. Right click to discharge. Mythical Red, who's that? This dude, of course. My boy looks sick. Look at him. Giant red dragon. I was just talking earlier, I'm like, they should have the Lunar New Year dragon in the game. And guess what? That's exactly what we got. Hold up. Look at the little orb. I can use it to hit enemies with. And then I believe once we hit enough enemies with the orb, our boy himself charges up. And then with that charge, we're able to do some damage. I'm trying to tell when he's charged up. I don't really know when he is. Is he charged up now? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, hit my boy with some lightning. This thing is awesome. This is the battle mount right here. This is the mount that you really use in a fight. Let's do it again. Hit him with that lightning. Is that enough? Oh, there we go. 2 little bursts, 3 little bursts. Hold up. That's a lot more bursts than I thought. So I'm assuming the more you hit him, the more that gets charged up. But yeah, pretty sick, and the animations are pretty awesome. Like you can see the lightning sort of charge onto him. Now he's all lit up with like these different like electric scales, something like Godzilla. And then you just let that lightning go. Damn, that was one big one I hit him with. And that thing did some crazy damage. So yeah, it depends how much is lit up on his body, is how strong and how much he'll do. One last thing, if you guys want to know what the quickest mount is out of all of these, I believe it is the Solar Phoenix, which goes like 72 miles per hour. Hold up. Let me bring out a stopwatch. Goes like 72 miles per hour is what it can reach. Okay, it reaches way higher than that, so I don't know what the wiki I'm looking at is telling me. But it says the Phoenix is the fastest, and then after the Phoenix, I guess with the dash it goes faster than that, but 72 is his base speed. And after the Phoenix is just Big Red here. Big Red, only when he's charged up though, is when he goes like 86, I think. So let me bring in an enemy and let me charge my boy up. Okay, there you go. He's fully charged. You can see all his scales are charged, and look at him. He's moving. 86, 92 if we go like at a diagonal. But yeah, aside from the just normal mounts that are in this mod, there are some very unique and cool ones. Something that Terraria itself now has. The one that we sort of showed off earlier, and that was the Lilith necklace, which turned us into a wolf. This mod also has stuff like that, starting very simple with like the acorn that turns us into a cute little squirrel. Look at him bouncing around literally. And then we got one that turns us into a little snow fox, and I believe this snow fox can actually go underground. Let me see. Let's get to the snow. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. We could go underground, and then we could just shoot up whenever. It's kind of sick. And then we got the rice ball, which turns us into a little sparrow. And it's kind of weird because this one, I believe, is a hard mode one. Can't turn into a little sparrow until hard mode. And then the last one, which is one of the sickest. I'd love to see somebody do a whole playthrough of this with just this, and that is this right here. Look, we literally turned ourselves into a winged wyvern. Look at it. I can shoot fireballs at enemies. I can shoot flamethrowers. Like, come on. That is so sick of an idea. it's just so awesome, and it does solid damage too, as we can see. Because obviously it's a summoner class. That's what mount damage is based on. So you can actually get pretty damn strong with something like this. But yeah, pretty cool. It's sick. I just love the idea of having, you know, a class where you can transform into things. There's a lot of mods that sort of have something like this where you can transform into stuff, but this one's definitely my favorite, this mount right here. One last little thing here before we end off this video, and that is the little extra stuff that is in the mod, that being a bunch of accessories. As we can see here, we got accessories to give us more damage the faster we move, one that gives us defense when we're on a mount, mounts do contact damage while not moving fast. So like a lot of stuff to make a mount only playthrough a little bit better. Look at this, mounts can ram things at high enough speed, so I'm assuming it makes whatever mounts already that don't do damage. You got the prison flower, increases mount speed after moving for a while, and then just like a bunch of things that you could combine together. Like a bunch of these are actually combinable accessories that you just use throughout the playthrough, and it's so sick. I wanna put one of these on. Which one is it? This one? Shooting star. What if I were to put the shooting star one on and then we hop on the Phoenix? Are we just gonna like zoom across the map? Let's see. What was it that we went? 72 was the default speed. Oh my god, we're going 120 instead of 72, and that's not including me doing the dash to go even faster. But yeah, shout out everyone that worked on the mod. I love the Mountain Journey mod so much. It's so sick. I don't know how much new stuff they added or if they added any new stuff at all, but I wanted to cover it again because it's such a good mod. Hopefully in the future they add in more like transformation stuff. I would think it'd be really cool to do like a whole transformation like subclass. So we'll see in the future if they add in more stuff. Easily some of the coolest things were stuff like the spider mount, which I do want to see something with the spider mount really quick. I think some people said the spider mount can climb like straight up walls and stuff, so let me test that. All right, here we go. Quick test. Oh my god, look at that. That's kind of sick. I don't know how often you'll be in a situation like this, maybe climbing up your hellhole, but this is sick how easily he could climb up this. But yeah, it's a sick mod. Make sure to check it out. Also make sure to check out the second channel, everyone. Game Raiders Live, that's where I post any live streams that y'all miss, so make sure to check that out. And also make sure to check out the twitch.tv/gamerzone1. I will be seeing y'all in the next video. Have a good one.